Imagine being stuck in a place so cold that even your breath freezes in the air. It's minus 50 degrees outside, the wind is howling, and there's no way to get warm except for a shelter made of snow. Could you make it through the night? For most people, the answer would be no. But for the Inuit, this was just another night in the Arctic. No heaters, no emergency blankets, just their knowledge of the land and survival skills passed down for generations. The Arctic is one of the harshest places on Earth. It's a place where the sun can disappear for months and temperatures drop so low that touching metal could freeze your skin instantly. Yet, the Inuit learned to live and thrive here. How did they do it? How did they survive nights so cold that most people wouldn't last an hour? Their secret was knowing how to use everything the land gave them. They built igloos that stayed warm inside, even in freezing temperatures. They made clothes from animal skins that kept them from losing body heat. And they knew how to eat the right foods to keep their bodies fueled and warm. But it wasn't just about survival gear. It was about stories, traditions, and a mindset that prepared them for the harshest conditions. This is how the Inuit survived the most brutal freezing night ever. A story of courage, skill, and the will to live. Before we start, I'm on a road to get 1,000 subscribers as a small channel. If you want to help me, hit that subscribe button and join the journey. Now back to the Inuit. When you think of survival in extreme cold, a house made of snow doesn't sound like the best idea. But the Inuit's igloo is no ordinary snow fort. It's a brilliant piece of engineering that kept them warm through the coldest Arctic nights. Building an igloo isn't just about stacking blocks of snow. It's about using the right kind of snow, firm and packed, but not too icy. The Inuit cut large blocks of this snow using knives made from bone or ivory. These blocks were then arranged in a spiral, leaning inward to form a dome. This dome shape isn't just for looks. It's what makes the igloo strong enough to withstand powerful Arctic winds. But how does a shelter made of snow keep people warm? The secret lies in the snow itself. Snow is full of tiny air pockets, which act as insulation. These air pockets trap body heat inside the igloo, keeping the temperature surprisingly comfortable, even when it's freezing outside. Once the dome is complete, the inside is smoothed out to prevent melting snow from dripping. The entrance is dug out below ground level, creating a sort of cold trap. This keeps cold air near the floor while warm air rises, maintaining a cozy temperature inside. Sometimes animal skins were hung as doors to block out the wind even more. To add warmth, the Inuit used small oil lamps made from carved stone, burning seal or whale blubber. These lamps provided light and a little extra heat without filling the igloo with smoke. Their careful design meant that the inside of the igloo could be as warm as 40 degrees Fahrenheit, while it was minus 40 outside. Igloos were not just temporary shelters. They were homes. Families slept on raised platforms made of snow covered with animal skins, keeping them off the cold ground. The space was organized efficiently, with sleeping areas and spots for cooking. It's amazing to think that with just snow, some animal skins, and a small oil lamp, the Inuit could survive the harshest nights in the Arctic. The igloo wasn't just a shelter, it was a lifeline, crafted with intelligence and experience. Surviving in the Arctic isn't just about having shelter, it's also about staying warm while on the move. The Inuit mastered this challenge with clothing designed specifically for extreme cold. Forget modern winter jackets. The Inuit made gear that kept them warm in temperatures that could kill within minutes. Their secret? Caribou and sealskin. Caribou fur was the best insulator because its hollow hairs trapped heat better than any synthetic fabric. The Inuit used 2 layers of caribou skin, one with the fur facing inward for softness and warmth, and another with the fur facing outward to block the wind. This double-layered system was like wearing a natural down jacket, perfectly adapted to the Arctic. Sealskin was just as important. It was waterproof, which was crucial when dealing with snow and ice. The Inuit made boots and mittens from sealskin, keeping their extremities dry and warm. They also used it for parkas, which were long enough to cover the hips, preventing heat loss. The design of their clothing wasn't just about insulation, it was also about movement. The Arctic environment required hunting and traveling across vast, icy landscapes. Inuit clothing was carefully tailored to allow flexibility and mobility. Hoods were large enough to trap warm air around the head while protecting the face from wind. Cuffs were snug to keep out snow, and the seams were sewn tightly with sinew to prevent cold air from seeping in. One of the most ingenious pieces was the kamik, a boot made from seal skin with caribou fur liners. These boots were lightweight but incredibly warm, keeping feet from freezing even on ice. The Inuit also used special snow goggles made from bone or driftwood with narrow slits to reduce snow glare, a natural solution to snow blindness. Their clothing wasn't just practical, it was a survival tool. Every stitch, material, and design choice was made with purpose. By understanding their environment and using the natural resources available, the Inuit created clothing that allowed them to not only survive, but thrive in one of the coldest places on Earth. Staying warm in the Arctic isn't just about clothing and shelter, it's also about what you eat. The Inuit knew this better than anyone. To survive in temperatures that could freeze exposed skin in seconds, they relied on a unique diet that gave them the energy and warmth they needed. Their secret weapon? Fat. Lots of it. Unlike most modern diets that avoid fat, the Inuit diet was rich in fat from marine animals like seals, whales, and fish. Why? Because fat provides more than twice the energy of carbohydrates or protein. It kept their bodies fueled and produced the heat needed to survive in the extreme cold. One of their staple foods was muktuk, raw whale skin and blubber. It's packed with calories and essential nutrients like vitamin C, which is rare in the Arctic. This helped prevent scurvy and kept their immune system strong. Another favorite was seal meat, rich in protein and iron, giving them the strength and energy required for hunting and traveling long distances. But it wasn't just about eating the right foods. It was also about eating them the right way. The Inuit often ate their food raw or frozen, preserving the nutrients that cooking would destroy. For example, raw fish and seal liver provided vital vitamins and minerals that helped them maintain their health in the harsh environment. They also preserved food by drying or fermenting it. Dried fish and meat were lightweight and easy to carry during long hunting trips. Fermented foods like kiviak, made from seabirds stored inside a seal skin, provided energy-rich meals during the winter months. These methods ensured they always had a reliable food supply, even when hunting was difficult. This high-fat, high-protein diet wasn't just about survival, it was about thriving in the coldest climates on Earth. The Inuit knew exactly what their bodies needed to stay warm and strong. Their diet wasn't just food, it was fuel, perfectly adapted to their environment. Behind every survival skill lies a story of courage, endurance, and sometimes sheer luck. For the Inuit, these stories weren't just tales, they were life lessons, passed down through generations to teach the next hunters and explorers how to survive the Arctic's most brutal nights. One such story is that of an Inuit hunter who got caught in a sudden blizzard while out on the ice. With zero visibility and temperatures dropping rapidly, he knew his chances of making it back to his village were slim, but panic wasn't an option. Using skills taught by his elders, he built a temporary snow shelter known as a quinji. Unlike an igloo, a quinji is made by piling loose snow and hollowing out the inside. It was fast to build and provided just enough insulation to survive the night. Inside, he used his own body heat to warm the small space, reducing the risk of hypothermia. He stayed awake, knowing that falling asleep in such cold conditions could be deadly. When the storm finally cleared, he emerged, cold, exhausted, but alive. This story became a lesson in quick thinking and adapting to the situation, skills every Inuit needed to master. Another story tells of a family whose igloo collapsed in the middle of the night due to heavy snowfall. Trapped in freezing temperatures, they didn't panic. Instead, they used the snow around them to rebuild the shelter from the inside, reinforcing it to withstand the weight. They used their clothing and body heat to stay warm, huddling together until morning light. This story became a symbol of resilience and resourcefulness, teaching that even when things go wrong, survival is possible with the right mindset and knowledge. There are also stories of hunters who faced starvation when animals were scarce. They survived by eating parts of the animals that others might consider inedible, like the bone marrow or the stomach contents of caribou, which provided essential nutrients. These tales taught the importance of respect for nature and using every part of an animal to avoid waste. These stories weren't just about surviving one night. They were about a way of life, a mindset of preparedness, and a deep respect for the environment. By passing down these survival stories, the Inuit ensured that future generations would be ready for anything the Arctic could throw at them. The Inuit have shown the world that survival isn't just about strength or bravery. It's about knowledge, adaptability, and respect for nature. Through their remarkable ingenuity, they turned snow into warm shelters, animals into life-saving clothing, and high-fat foods into the fuel needed to withstand the coldest temperatures on Earth. Their survival wasn't just about facing the elements, it was about mastering them. By understanding their environment better than anyone else, they built a way of life that thrived in the most extreme conditions. Their igloos weren't just shelters, they were marvels of engineering. Their clothing wasn't just warm, it was perfectly designed for movement and insulation. And their diet wasn't just food, it was fuel, carefully chosen to keep their bodies strong and resilient. The stories of survival passed down through generations weren't just tales of bravery, they were lessons in adaptability, resourcefulness, and hope. The Inuit didn't just survive the most brutal freezing nights, they thrived. Their legacy isn't just about overcoming the cold, it's about teaching us the power of human ingenuity and the will to live. If you found this story of survival inspiring and want to learn more about incredible human resilience, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. There's so much more to discover about the world's most remarkable people and places